Invite a Budget Blinds style consultant to show you how to transform your rooms just by changing your window coverings. Canada's #1 choice for window coverings. Visit budgetblinds.ca today.
There are numerous changes in the first new pet bylaw in 35 years. All cats will now have to be licensed and are no longer allowed to have free range on the city. One thing that is not yet clear, though, how much will pet licenses cost? City Councillor Jeremy Thompson has more from today's meeting.
If your cat or dog is not spayed or neutered, you might want to get on that. Licensing fees for all pets will be going up soon, but Council could not agree on a price for unaltered animals. Now, Councillor Ken Baker thinks the proposed $150 fee is too high.
I think that families deserve to have pets, and if they want intact animals, they should be able to have them if they look after them properly. And I just think that because the odd community charges extreme fees, we don't have to follow suit.
And the 2015 census results are in. The city of Lloydminster has 106 fewer residents since 2013, but 99% of residents did complete the survey, many of them doing it online.
We definitely encourage everybody to continue participating online as we move forward for future censuses, and we hope eventually, 100% online would be fantastic.
The late fire chief, Todd Gustafson, taught me a lot. He took me under his wing many years ago and started teaching me the role, and I believe he'd be happy and proud the way that we'll carry on.
We'll be following these stories and more in the coming week. Reporting from City Hall, Jeremy Thompson, Newcap News.
First Nations students in Onion Lake will soon be able to hit the books right where they live as the community agrees to a new partnership with the University of Saskatchewan. A Memorandum of Understanding signed last week gives Onion Lake students the option of entering the fields of education or nursing at the First Nation.
And because Onion Lake is so proactive in the area of education for all of their members, it was a natural place to start some additional programs.
Onion Lake hopes to have its own healthcare facility in one day and wants to staff it with First Nation nurses.
We as a community need to have the professionals in place, when the building does get completed, that we would have our nurses from the community.
The mandate is to have First Nation teachers for First Nation students, and it's been a successful model for them so far.
They have 80% of their teachers at Onion Lake First Nation already, which, for other reserves, like we're doing some work in other places, it's like less than 5 to 10%.
There are currently 35 students from Onion Lake enrolled for a September start in both the nursing and education programs. To other news of the day, it's always nice to get rewarded for a job well done. And 25 years ago this month, a dairy farm west of Lloydminster received a provincial award for their milk. Annika Notfade has more in this week's Retrospect.
Gordon Hedden family from Kitscoty have won an award for the best milk in Saskatchewan. The Hedden family farm is called Hedgehaven Farms and was started in 1954 as a grain operation. In the mid-60s, Hedgehaven made the switch from strictly a grain operation to a dairy and cattle outfit as well. Gordon Hedden is the founder of Hedgehaven Farms.
Well, in the milking, we milk between 110 and 115 cows all the time. We have to do that to keep our quota full. And
Hedden also planted 3,000 acres worth of spring crops, 320 of which was devoted to hay. The other 2,800 or so acres were planted with canola and wheat. Hedden is not alone, as Hedgehaven is definitely a family business.
Oh, sons, yeah. Brian's Brian looks after the cow end of it, and Ron helps with looks after the field work. And
Son Brian is in charge of the dairy operation, and he goes into what is involved in winning a province-wide award.
Cleanliness all around, where the cows are stable, where you milk, your equipment. That's about it, I think. It's an all-around cleanliness job, eh?
The milk is sent to a government lab in Saskatchewan where a bacteria and somatic cell count is done. According to Brian's, the results from the testing have proven that Hedgehaven Farms milk has the lowest bacteria and somatic cell count in Alberta as well as Saskatchewan. And in case you're wondering why an Alberta farm won a Saskatchewan award, it's because the Heddens shipped milk to Saskatchewan. Kevin Wilson, Broadcast Centre News, near Kitscoty.
And since then, there's been a lot of changes in the operation and the management, though it's still a family farm. One of the biggest changes is the goat operation and the cheesery.
My husband's grandfather and uncle were involved with the farm back then, and in 1997 they split that part up. So that's why the dairy cows were sold off, and then this farm was switched over to a grass-finished or grass-fed beef operation. It's kind of a neat thing how it kind of came around full circle. Even though it's with different animals, I think it's neat to have that back in the family.
And just a note, 2 years ago, the cheesery won the top 25 things to eat in Edmonton. Well, that's all for Retrospect this week. I'm Annika Notbate.